Everybody to yet another episode here on the O'Shea Vlogcast channel. I know it's been a few days, but I'm saying I had some things I had to do. Still got some things I got to do, but we're gonna just do the show to get back in the groove of things. I appreciate everybody for the support. Everybody that's going to be coming in tonight on the live show. Make sure when you come in the building, you like the video. For those of you who are watching the restream, go ahead on and like the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm using my man LAR Movement, one with all the hair, for views tonight. You know what I mean? So want to give him a shout out. Now, today, we have a very interesting topic because typically we don't talk about a lot of black church issues on this channel. But there has been a situation with a gentleman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. His name is Prophet Brian Carn. He's originally from Florida, but now he has a church in North Carolina. And Prophet Brian Carn is no stranger to certain fuckery or accused fuckery. And so he slept, apparently with a brother's wife named Pierre Whitlow, who was his praise and worship leader. And so what happened is that in this particular sense, the praise and worship leader, Pierre Whitlow, was living in Brian Carn's one of his homes or estates, and the brother happened to be out of town, and his wife was there. And Pastor Carn comes through, knocks on the door, and asks, could he, in so many words, give some marriage counseling to the man's wife. Now, even though he's supposed to give marriage counseling when both parties there, but also he was commenting on their pictures. I don't like how your hair is looking like that. He was bold nigga. You know what I'm saying? He really wanted this pussy. So, anyways, the dude is out of town, brother Pierre Whitlow. Dude's out of town for 3 weeks. And his wife and Brian Carn is just getting in every day. So wife tells the dude, listen, man, I got to let you know, whatever, I've been fucking on, Brian Carn. And so instead of Pierre Whitlow leaving the lady, he says, hey, you've been seduced, baby. It's not your fault. And so what he does is he goes on Facebook live with his brother first and then with his wife. And then his wife talks about how she was seduced by the pastor. And a lot of people are blaming the brother, like, especially a gentleman named, Leonard Robinson. He has a channel here called Church Revolution. And he's talking about the brother didn't protect his wife. And, it's not really the wife's fault, all the time, because she was being bamboozled by the pastor's authority. And what I'm kind of getting at is even the dude who this happened to, he's not blaming his wife for her situation. And what I'm getting at is in these churches, it's always the men's fault. So I want to kind of get a really good brother Peel type of, let the black men speak on this particular issue, because y'all always know we always the first to get blamed in the community for everything that happens. So I got a wonderful guest here. Let me go ahead and introduce LAR Movement. What's going on with your brother?
I'm gonna say allegedly tonight, but this is stupid. I'm looking at this stuff and it's stupid. Like, if you look at the video, dude is like smiling. Like, I don't know if I'd be smirking and smiling if somebody was smashing my wife. I don't think I'd get my brother on the phone and he'd be smirking and smiling. Hey, the pastor's a punk. He was hitting my wife a couple times. He ain't shit. That ain't funny. And then the wife there, like, she trying to look like she don't want to get her ass whipped later on when they cut the video off. I get it. Are you gonna blame the woman? No, in this one, because the woman looks like a victim, even though she wasn't a victim when she was dropping that thing.
Oh, Jesus.
In Leviticus style.
Yeah, Leviticus doggy style. Look, let me just do something real quick, Aaron. Let me shout out some people just real quick before you weigh back in on this. I see your brother, man. Before I say this, he's called me some names before, but you know what? The brother is starting to be a little nice to me. Shout out to the real Aaron Collins Okay, he's a brother's a moderator over on Cynthia G's channel. Don't judge him. Okay, well, welcome over here, brother. We appreciate you coming over, and I will extend this to you because I know that you will have an interesting, unique take on an issue like this, possibly when it comes to Black women. So I will offer you a chance to come on here tonight, brother, if you would like to do that. I've been wanting to do a show with you anyway because you have a complete opposite view of mine. But let me shout out to some of the super chatters. Shout out to brother JB. Thank you, $5. Seeing King Demetrius, good to see you, player. Wake the hell up. They want to be the main ones in charge, yet don't want to be held accountable in the church. Shout out to brother Super Triz. Respect O'Shea Duke, man. And tomorrow, LER Movement and Esteemed Gas. What's going on? Kevin Green, Ghetto Subway Fun. Wake the hell up again. I'm gonna bring some different brothers on tonight. If you want to get in, man, for those people, I will bring you on. But go ahead and finish some of your stuff, LAR. What else would you saying, player?
I mean, what kind of dude is this? I mean, like we was talking before this came on. They had he had a lawsuit for herpes, gonorrhea, and syphilis and shit. Like, I mean, they say women we attracted to rich and powerful men, and he seduced me. No, he didn't seduce you. That wallet seduced you. That money seduced you. But if you was a real chick, you wouldn't have been. Your husband leaves for 3 weeks, and you just immediately just jumping on it. That ain't your fault either. Okay, so that means, like, you know, anybody could just. Precedent has been set, you know what I'm saying? Milkman could come in. I heard your husband ain't here no more. You know, cable guy could come in. You want some extra speed on your Wi-Fi? Like, this is why I don't fuck with churches, man. Because they be doing the most, man. It's too much fuckery going on.
Okay.
They gonna tithe and offer their way out of this? All right, you know what? I'm long with it because I'm gonna say some evil shit.
Get your Edward on tonight, man. We're gonna have a pretty good show. So let's go ahead to man of tomorrow. What's going on, man? Let me borrow that 15-piece suit you got on there, playa.
No, what's going on, man? I just don't get this. We know that most of the bad churches, you know, they strive from one collective group of nonsense to the next, and they'll kind of spin this stuff as some type of testimony, and that is some type of forgiveness train that people are like, oh, look how they handled it and all that kind of stuff. Like, this is what this being turned into. It's like it's a testament for everybody kind of involved. And I mean, I just never bought the whole seduction thing by women. You know, I just don't. It sounds like that they can never be held responsible for what they do, no matter what it is. I mean, because no one ever uses it in reverse. I mean, it sounds just crazy. And I don't, like, he has to know who he married. Like, there was a previous life for her. If she's doing this, like, you know, was she on the stripper pole before this? Like, come on. The dude ain't even gone that long, and all of a sudden the marriage vows go straight out the window. Like, I think this stuff probably went on well before this dude even went out of town.
Wait. Say that again, brother.
This right here probably went on well before this dude went out of town. This is just the time that he probably got caught, if you want to make it that way. I mean, because most of these dudes, they know who they marry, and half the time they know who they sleeping with and all this kind of stuff. It's just that, you know, he just wanted to turn into some type of public display of his forgiveness that brings even more people into his congregation. And I just think the whole thing is just bad for everybody involved. But when you ain't got no shame, you really can't shame people without a soul anyway. So it's kind of hard to walk up to them and kind of let them know that, hey, perhaps y'all should talk this over with some PR people before they just went straight out with it. They didn't check with nobody. And now everybody who goes there looks kind of crazy because this is the dude who's quote unquote leading y'all. And there ain't no other women who's coming out and saying, I don't think this is seduction. How is... Okay, he came over to the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you... I mean, like, I mean, it's just like, how do you seduce somebody to you, to your house? And okay, one time maybe they were drunk, mess around. Okay, that's what I thought seduction was. I didn't know seduction could be a week long thing, or 2 or 3 week long. You know, you know we we pushing things over into the second and third overtime with this stuff. And wow, it's like, how can you possibly show up there and give your money to this after even hearing this type of stuff? And I guarantee you, this ain't the first time ever. This, I mean, it's probably the first public time it happened, but privately, who knows what this dude could be going through? You know, he just decided to make a whole lot of money and a whole lot of views off of it this time around. So keep an eye on this girl. She going places.
Okay. All right. And shout out to all the brothers, man. Y'all must have got paid this week, man. And y'all must have missed a nigga. You know what I mean? Let me go to my brother, HT Logistics. He has just now joined the Uhuru Hotep community. What's going on, brother?
Everything's fine. All good.
What you think about what you've heard so far about this particular situation?
Well, man, tomorrow kind of said what I was going to say. So he kind of, put it all in good perspective. I was thinking the same thing. I thought maybe the brother was just trying to show himself in a different light, to bring congregation in, like, forgiveness and stuff like that, because I hold both of them responsible, because you got to hold her accountable for doing it, and you got to hold him accountable for accepting it, So I don't know if it's just a ploy for him to bring in congregation or just to get views. I don't know, but I know I wouldn't be taking nothing like that. And I think he made a great point when he said, we don't know how long this has been going on. It definitely looks like it's been going on a lot longer than what he just put on Facebook.
Okay. All right, let me do this. Let me go ahead, brothers. Got 130 people watching right now. I'm willing to expand the panel at some point. Thanks, Wake the Hell Up, for the second donation. Philly Chew 215. Thanks for the $5 super chat. CR Frank, Collard Green offer. Thanks. Let me do this, guys. Do me a favor and like the video. This is what I want to talk about real quick. Okay, and this is not to do with necessarily just church, but it could be anything. Here's what I want to know. The guy wife cheats on him. Okay. Now let me kind of fall back before this. Brian Karn has had some issues with sleeping with different women before in churches. This dude been rolling with Brian Karn for all them years, right? As you know what I'm saying, like, he know how Brian Karn get down. But I guess it was cool unless he didn't fuck his wife. But my thing is this. This woman cheats on you. You know that she cheats on you. You take her back. And then you blame the other dude. So, and I want to kind of transpose this, right? I know, like, most of us niggas like, hell no, I want to take her back. But let's think of how many black men are in jail behind something like this. You know what I mean? It's like the dude that got killed out in the Bronx, like 15 years old. Somebody thought that he and somebody else had recorded their sister having sex and posted it. So these dudes' mistaken identity killed him. This woman who has made this mistake. Now, I can't hold, Karn is wrong too. But she's being left out of the whole equation. Just like the dudes that killed the boy, it was a woman that made that mistake and she got left out of the equation. So, I mean, what's your take on the LAR? Shout out to Brother King Demetrius coming through with that big trucker money. $55, boy, he's balling. Shout out to my brother always donating with the big money, man. Let me go ahead and get hired for your player. I mean, LAR, man, let's kind of break into that, man. Like the fact that this dude, his wife has disrespected him. He takes his bra back anyway and wants to blame somebody else for what the fuck she did.
Before I go in on the wife part, what did you say he was? He was the what and what director?
he's like the praise, like, you know, like clap your hands. Jesus is on.
He's like the choir director, right?
He's like the fluffer. I mean, okay, you know what a fluffer is in the porn thing? The girl fluffers that just
right.
They get the dudes.
He's like a junior choir director.
He like the fluffer for the circuit. He could
like Flavor Flav.
So isn't that around the area of, they say, dudes who are not really that straight in church?
Yeah.
Yes. And I watched this little Facebook Live video. Dude got a little bit of. Go ahead.
So I mean, before I just blame her, you know, like, he is in the avenue of, you know, the kind of guy that just has a wife for show. Because even the title of the thing said he slept with my wife with no protection. Like, exactly how you gonna take your wife back and blame him if he exploding all in your old lady? Like, you just gonna go back to the church? Like, everybody, Jesus is in the building, and the pastor is in my wife. Like, what are you doing? So now I'm gonna skip that part. Fuck it. You gotta blame her because of the time. He didn't hit her with a roofie. I mean, he came for 3 weeks straight. And in some ways, you could kind of say he set it up because it was his house. You know, I'm here to check the pipes. You know, it's like, and if that's your boy, you know how your boy get down. The first time you like, did your wife call you and say, you know, pastor came by knowing you wasn't here? I'd have been on the first thing smoking to whip his ass, because I know how he get down. You know, like,
I mean, you know, he pretty much called in Bobby Womack to come watch his wife while he was gone.
I wish he didn't trust me so much. That's right. Cause if that's your homeboy and you know that's how your homeboy get down, and you leave town, I'm gonna go check on your wife. Whoa, bitch. Look, don't get shot in front of the church, okay?
Right. Hotel.
But the way he was smiling in the video made me think, like, he really doesn't. Like, I don't know too many people who would be making a video and smirking and smiling like that shit's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, like, dudes don't act like that with their girlfriend. So that's your wife,
right?
And you go, and not only you gonna put your wife on camera and act and have her like acting like she was feeling sorry about it. How the fuck you feel sorry for something you did for 3 weeks? Like, if I walked up to a person and slapped them in the face for 3 weeks straight, bitch, I'm not sorry. I woke up the next day with all my mind. That felt good. I'm gonna double up. I'm gonna triple up. Shit, I'm going on a 21 game hitting streak. Like, that's 7 days. 3 times. You know what? She's a victim of fucking R. Kelly's homeboy. Whatever. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay. Let me do this. Shout out to brother Julian. You know what I mean, for the super chat, $20. Thank you so much. Y'all get the likes up. What's going on? Let's go to Man of Tomorrow real quick, and then we go to brother Chris. Go ahead, Man of Tomorrow. What you want to weigh in on, brother?
I mean, like I said, this ain't no one-time thing. Like, let's say that you know everybody who's around you. You know who is not visiting your house, not even while you out of town for 3 days, but 3 weeks. You know the dude's not coming around. Like, hey, I'm about to leave town. If I catch you over my house, I know how you roll. You know this is gonna be some problems. But it just doesn't sound right that he gone for 3 weeks. Is this the first time he ever left for 3 weeks? I mean, these people have to have an established relationship before it would come to something like this. But Like, how did he get to the confession that it was 3 weeks? And like, it just don't sound right. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they doing it for the cameras or whatever, and you know how people, they just eat it up. But there's a lot going on here, and I don't understand how people don't lose their entire congregation. Like, there isn't an immediate vote to vote this dude out whenever something like this happens. Like, I just don't understand it. I mean, because you can't bring Bobby Womack watch your wife services to your door to watch your wife once you leave, man. Like, some of that is on him because for 3 weeks though, 3 weeks straight,
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, like, what is this dude doing in his regular life to where she'll be like, okay, I did it one time, 1 week, but 3 weeks straight. And there is no women out there running this girl through a wood chipper, a
No, not
perfectly
really.
serviceable wood chipper for the way that she acted here. None of the church elders, nobody. Everybody on this forgive this dude. Like, I don't get how this is happening, man. I mean, it makes the church look bad. It makes everybody who go there and donate money look bad. I mean, it just makes everybody look bad. And like, how do you sit there and listen to any criticism of any other topic in the same timeline in reality where this has just happened last week or last month? Oh man, it's just an embarrassing situation for both of them. But it's her fault too. I mean, because you have to understand that, okay, this girl has sisters, brothers, other family members. Everybody knows this about her, and like, she's pretty much faced no social backlash or consequences for it, which kind of sets up that you could do whatever you want to. As long as you misuse Christian forgiveness, you can kind of get away with whatever you want to. And that's the message here, that this guy has pretty much said that no matter what happens, seduction or no, you're going to be able to take your wife back at the end of the day. Like, man, wow. They already don't hold women responsible for anything. Now they don't hold women responsible for absolutely nothing. Like, man, have some standards, bro. I mean, but he cheated in the past too. So I just don't think this is her first time doing some revenge cheating type thing. I just don't think it's the first time. I think these people probably known each other forever, and it's their turn to go out there and do something stupid, and I guess it's her time this time. So
Let me ask the whole panel. Okay, so the situation is this dude was living in a man. Okay, the apartment that Brian Karn was renting was actually his apartment. So I mean, think about it. The nigga wife look good though. I mean, you might not think she look good. She look good. You know what I'm saying? The dude is not staying in his own place. He's staying in an apartment that the pastor is that he owns. So, I mean, psychologically, does this woman think like, yo, nigga, like, this is the nigga I need to be fucking with because he's paying for the house. Like, if it's not for him, like, you understand what I'm saying? And he's the nigga that really got shit popping. Like, I mean, do you see that relationship? What I'm making is that also this dude's fault? To not, I mean, because Leonard Robertson said that the dude is not protecting his wife or providing for his wife to the point where she can respect him. So, what you got to say about that, man? Tomorrow, I mean, like, just quickly because we want to go to Brother Chris, but go ahead.
oh man, so now we're gonna bring respect into this at
Yeah,
this
I mean,
point.
Mike, I mean, because of the situation that he's in, is it a compromise in such a situation?
I mean, what happened was, I mean, that kind of respect thing and that type of, you are not a good enough man with resources to provide for
What
your
the
wife,
hell is that? Oh, go ahead.
so that way you have earned the right to be cheated on or been earned the right to be taught some type of a lesson. Like, nah, man, that's not how respect works. Respect is kind of a constant thing. respect is kind of like unconditional love, like the way I see it, or even a normal person would be able to see it. I mean, if this person was waiting for a lapse in respect so they can turn around and do something like this that is way out the way of respect, I mean, I don't know. I think they're just providing that girl an out. I don't think there's no out for her. She did this for 3 weeks, like LAR say, 3 weeks. Even if it was one time would have been one time too many. But we're talking about 3 long weeks of making one the same mistake. So I don't understand how this could possibly come to the realm of respect because at the end of the day, both of them are wrong, but the dude know that his girl's married and she knows he's married to somebody else. So I give her one time, one day. But come on, man. We talking about 3 weeks, 21 days. How many other hours of that? She knows this stuff is continually going on. Then she have to look at this dude, and now people are coming in, giving her cover, you know. And I don't like the cover. I think the cover up is worse than the action or activity. They're
Okay.
giving her the respect kind of thing, and if she would have had more respect for him, if he was doing a lot of stuff better, then this never would have happened. And that kind of blames the dude. But this is a purposeful act by a person, two people
Okay.
engaged in this activity. So I don't think the respect kind of comes in. I think the respect is kind of to, throw that ninja smoke bomb so she can just walk up out of there unscathed. So
Okay. Let me do this. Shout out to Eric P. What up, Reverend O'Shea? This is for the community cracker and wine fun. While you're at it, get some midget strippers 4x4. I gotta post this new comic strip on Patreon, man. I'm gonna get back to the Patreon thing, guys. In more videos, but I've been real busy the last few days. Let me go to my brother Big Chris, man. What you want to weigh in on the player?
Okay. I think they deserve each other. Why not? Cheaters stick together.
Why is that?
One thing I noticed though is this really don't surprise a lot of people because they look at the black churches as a joke anyway. They look at black relationships as a joke. We're dysfunctional. So this don't surprise many people. But I mean, if two people just want to move around on each other like that, well, let it be. It's better than somebody who was good to you, right? So
Okay. Let me do this real quick, guys. Let's see. Is that man tomorrow? Mute your. Okay. Do me a favor, brothers. Tricking one more again. Any man, she will lose respect if you take her back. Most guys don't believe there's the other woman. Get the likes up, players. I need to get the likes up on the video. Okay, so we'll have a quick show tonight. Here's what I want to do. I'm gonna start with you this time, Big Chris, man, because I've seen some other videos regarding this particular topic. The real Aaron Collins. Man, this would be a great if you want to come on and like I said, anybody else who would like a link to the show. But Aaron, if you want to join, I think it'd be interesting because you have a very different view of relationships than everybody on this panel does. So those kind of people make for great shows and great. He kind of stirs things up. So if you want to come on a show, man, like I kind of want somebody that's going to have an opposite opinion of what we got going on right now. So let me ask you this. I saw some videos, Chris, of some preachers that were saying like, hey, calling out the pastor for this is not the issue. Like, touch not, my anointed. I hear that all the time in these churches. The same thing happened with, I think like Jamal Harrison Bryant. I don't know if you guys know him. He's a big liberal. And he ended up getting caught up with him. Now he had like 2 babies in his churches. So, I mean, what do you think about this whole idea of like, you can't really criticize these preachers? And what's your whole concept of, these men in these churches that let these preachers consult their wives and stuff like that, or go to these preachers for counseling or mentoring? You there, Chris? Oh,
Yeah.
White man got his headset.
He said, hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man. I know the white man is oppressing your headset player. I understand.
Oh no. Hold on.
You want me to go to LAR while you get set up, player? Okay. LAR, let's while we waiting for him, he probably got pulled over, man. You know how it is. Black boy driving a Mack truck. You want me to repeat the question, or you already got it?
Repeat the question, because I'm actually
Okay.
listening to more of the video while y'all going.
So, okay, you can't crit. Okay, this whole thing, touch not my anointed, right? We hear that all the time, and because tomorrow was making the case, this guy needs to be voted out of the church. Okay, this is not the first time this shit's happened to him. He is a younger dude, younger populate, younger congregation, stuff like that. So why do you think he cannot be voted out? He's still getting tours, he's still selling out crowds and shit like that. And then also, this is a dude that's an unmarried man. Never been married. I don't think he planned on getting married. Why is a guy like this counseling people, or even quote unquote counseling people that's married? And now keep it also in mind, the dude was commenting on the girl's pictures on Facebook, like, I don't like your hair looking like that and stuff like that. What you think about all this, player? Yeah,
that's what I was listening to when you were saying it, because I was listening to that part specifically. Mind you, everybody, like I'm chilling, I'm sipping. Y'all know what that means. But here's my problem. If you, as a husband, you should know these two things. If a dude's commenting on your girl's picture that I don't like your hair, he been fucking with your girl. It ain't start when you caught him. Like MOT was talking about. He been fucking with your girl. The second thing, why would they not get rid of him? The same reason they don't get rid of the other preachers who do scandalous stuff. They make too much money for the church and for the board and for the deacons and for the for everybody else. Are they worried about God and morality and ethics? Hell no, they're worried about the money.
Yeah, who put asses on the seats?
Right. You said he was touring and selling out and packing houses.
Yeah, he do.
So let's be honest. And stereotypically, don't whoremongers pack out churches?
Yeah.
So this is nothing new for church.
Okay.
Especially black churches. This is normal to black churches, like Catholic churches fucking little boys. That's what it is. The other thing is this. There's going to have to come a point where we're going to have to not, like as you was talking about, not letting these chicks off the hook.
Okay.
She wants to play as if she didn't know what she was doing, but she knew what the fuck she was doing.
Thank you. Say that again.
Like, she want to play as if she didn't know what she was doing, but she knew what she was doing.
Right.
Now I could see this because when I'm listening to the guy talk about, he saw in March that the pastor made a comment to his wife. Well, that should have been a red flag then if you know the guy. But here's the other thing. Because he was talking about his situation was the pastor was telling him to go visit his family in Virginia. You his wife. If he go see his family, you go see his family.
Uh-oh.
So for you to say, no, I'm going to just stay home and hold it down. What you holding down? Like, what exactly are you doing?
Uh-huh.
You pretty much you're not a view in the and this is why just because you look like I'm innocent because I got this on and my frizzy hair and I'm gonna just sit there. No, hell no.
Would you fuck her though? She was kind of cute though. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, you gotta go to Man tomorrow. No, I gotta. Wait,
before you go. Wait, Chris, let me tell you something, man. Like I'm an ugly nigga, right? Ugly nigga turn. Let me a shout out to some of my brothers real quick. Some reason, like I said, people want to get on, man. Tonight, you know, like I said, usually y'all be begging to get on. If you want to get on, let me know. Shout out to my boy Deep in Thought. You know what I'm saying? Today, you know, like I said, if you want to get on the show, you know what I'm saying, let me know. If you're a weirdo, like if I don't know who the fuck you are, don't ask because I ain't gonna get you on the show. If you're a weird motherfucker, I've never had you on here before. Like if you like one of the moderators, you want to get on tonight, people I know I see in the chat, you want to get on, I'll send you a link. But if you're a weirdo, your name is like Leroy Sylvester Lewis, you're not getting the link. I don't know you. You know what I mean? You might come on here. Like one nigga, I gave a nigga a link. He came on here and showed his ass. Literally. Nigga showed his whole ass on the show. Okay. Pulled his pants down, showed his ass. Okay, look, ugly nigga checking in, right? Let me get my O'Shea thing on. The nigga, ugly nigga like me. Okay. See, this is why I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna tell you some game. I gotta do like my Mr. Research. I'm gonna give you this game for free. If you an ugly nigga and you are successful, you know, you got some shit going for you. You can date up. You can date up, nigga. Like if you know, let's say you making tomorrow money, you look like me. You got King Demetrius money, you look like me. You got LARMOVEMENT ball head, you look like me. You got Roastmaster money with all them cars he got, Hotep. You can do that. Here's the problem that you niggas are having, though. I gotta Hotep. When you are an ugly nigga and you have struggle mania, LAR, ask me what struggle mania is, please. Hotep. LAR, can you ask me what struggle mania is? Thank you. Struggle mania is when you suffer from one or more struggles. Like you can be ugly, but you can't be broke. You can be ugly, but you can't be uneducated. But whenever you are ugly, broke, no ambition, ain't got shit, that is a syndrome of struggle mania, nigga. And in the case of struggle mania syndrome, some of you niggas are suffering from it. Hotep, I know, I've been there. Some of y'all niggas still there. It's all right. It's good. You cannot date nobody that look better than you under struggle mania. Some niggas will tell you, oh, it's all about the game. It's all about your mouthpiece. It's all about your dick game. Those are not that maybe a small percent of the time. But when you are ugly nigga and you have struggle mania, this is what you do. Don't try to holler at no good looking women under struggle mania syndrome because you got too many struggles. You have multiple struggles going on in your life. Get somebody fucked up, overweight, bow-legged, don't date. But see, when you have struggle mania and then you get a good looking woman or decent looking woman, what's going to happen is a nigga who have some money is going to look at you and be like, how the fuck you get her? See, like, for example, if you niggas was to see me anywhere on these streets, Hotep, and you would look at me like when I had D out here, niggas would be like, how the fuck he get her? Well, nigga, I'm actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually can read and write and shit like that. You know what I mean? So you can't get her no way. Because you ain't gonna never be nowhere around where I'm gonna be with her. You're not gonna be able to do that. Hotep, hold on, Taboo, send me an email. But here's the issue, Negro. If a nigga that sees you and know that you struggle, you ain't got no hustle, you ain't got no game, if he's anywhere around your chick, he gonna try you. Because again, you a nigga that's suffering from struggle mania. So of course, somebody gonna fuck on her. Now, the reason why the nigga is taking her back, I'm gonna tell you why. He an ugly nigga with struggle mania syndrome. He can't do no better than that. And he just got fired too. The nigga fucked his wife and fired his ass. You can't even praise the Lord. Pray. You can't even do that no more. Hotep, you got fired. This is why I gotta tell you niggas, y'all gotta stop being so ambitious when you have that struggle mania. When you're dealing with that struggle mania player, you gotta get that syndrome out your get it out your life, nigga. Get it out your life. If you know you ugly, ain't nobody gotta tell you that you ugly. Your mama done told you all your life. Niggas done told you all your. Everybody know that you ugly. You know this. Or fucked up. You also know if you broke. You also know if you're struggling. You know this. Everybody been telling you about this shit all your life. You know if you musty. You know if you dusty. All of these things. If you get a good looking chick anyway, somebody gonna take her from you. It's gonna have to happen, nigga. That's how it works. That's why you have to get your shit together. And then you're gonna get mad when somebody fuck on your chick, but that's because you got that struggle mania, and that's what happened to this nigga. Let me just do this real quick. Let me shout out to a few people, man. I know I was long-winded. Super Trish, can I get a rain check? Hold on. What the fuck is this? Nigga, can you read? God damn. Why the fuck you come in here asking what the fuck this is? Can you read, nigga? What does the show say? Shout out to my brother Taboo TV checking in $9.99. All right, let's go to Man of Tomorrow real quick, bro. Go ahead, get more ahead, MOT.
Yeah, yeah, man. You have to understand, man. He's that stuff costs. Like this dude, knowing how much he had to risk, why on earth would he do that anyway? I mean, why would he do that?
Then the nigga.
Not only that, but
go ahead.
This is his reputation around town, and he probably didn't leave town, and he's gonna have to try to go back out there with his name looking like this, trying to ask to be on somebody's stuff. Now, what's your character look like if you just screwed somebody's wife and just got fired? Like, what possible organization is going to allow somebody with your character level to even be a part of that? Like, people don't understand. Dumbass decisions, no matter how much you benefit from them currently, isn't going to help you in the long run. It doesn't help you in the long run. And now we're talking about a pastor and social media dude. Where are you going? You ain't going nowhere. Everywhere you go, they can just type in your name, and this is the story that comes. This is why I tell people all the time, man, hey, you in social media. Like, these people ain't, like that girl at that damn barbecue calling the police on it. Yeah, fuck her life up. And so, you're going to do something just way less than that. They're going to have the same level of consequences. I mean, the lady knows that there are no consequences for her. That's why she's doing it in the first place.
Right.
But you as a man is going to be held to a way different standard. And I don't even see, especially if this dude can really mess your life up by just firing you. Like, come on, man. Like, what was his long-term thinking process? I'm going to do this and she going to keep her mouth closed? Or everybody, okay, so she going to tell the entire planet. And now somebody's just going to come to you and be like, hey, man, did you sleep with homeboy wife? Rather than lying, you just come out and just say, yeah, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, dude, at least deny it, something. But these dudes ain't got no sense, man. They suffer from next vagina available syndrome.
No, but
they can't turn that shit off.
Here's the thing. The nigga then made a live video roasting the nigga that fucked his wife and that fired him. Like, I would feel like if, okay, let's say, for example, if Man of Tomorrow fucked my wife, the last thing I'm going to do is come on YouTube Live and roast you. Hold on a second. Who was that? Okay. Last thing I'm going to do is come on YouTube and roast you. Like, me and LAR are going to make a show. Yeah, man, fuck Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, you fucking my wife and everything, nigga. But, yeah, you might have fired me and shit, nigga. But, you a hoe. I'm like, let me bring my wife in here. Yeah, telling me a hoe, baby. She over there like, hey, you got to kiss this bitch who been sucking on his dick. Another story. Okay, let me do this real quick. You want to win any more on that Man of Tomorrow?
I mean, they have to understand that these decisions that you make, these small ass choices is going to follow you. It ain't even about the big decisions at this point. It was the small choices of doing dumb shit that led up to something really big happening in his life. Because if you think this is the only dusty dusty ass decision that this motherfucker have made this week, this month, this year, you really think it stops here? Like, nah, man, this is just the beginning. Like, you don't even know what this dude is capable of. He'll do this. To somebody that he knows, right?
Right.
Somebody who he's getting paid by. Somebody who he's getting compensated by. Somebody who pretty much has the keys to his whole life. And this is how he rewarded it. Like, if he's in the church and he know people in the church, come on, man. You know hoes in the church. You know hoes. Legitimate hoes. You could have did this with and risked nothing. But for him, the prize was going that high. Going that high, man. A saboteur like a thoughtful guest, both know when to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this to yourself, man.
Don't do
I mean,
it.
it's over now, but I mean, this ain't the only dumb nigga logic level decision that this dude has made. I guarantee you, you sit this dude down, there's a whole closet full of dumbass shit that this dude is doing beyond this, and he ain't gonna learn.
Let me do this. Shout out to Brother Connections, man, for the 989 super chat. O'Shea got me weak with the struggle, man. Yeah, man, y'all niggas, man. Y'all better stop. If you ugly and you broke, y'all better leave them good looking women alone, man. I'm telling you. Stay with the stay. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth, brother. I have fucked some hideous women in my life. You gonna get to the cute ones, but stay in your lane if you have struggle mania. Struggle mania, listen, you can work yourself out of that syndrome, but you can't try to, you know what I mean? You got to get your shit together. Let me go to Taboo TV. Shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You've been supporting me for a minute, man. He wanted to come on. He got a YouTube channel. What's going on? What's your player? What you want to weigh in on tonight, brother?
First of all, I appreciate you for having me on. Shout out to everybody on the show. I want to say to everybody watching, what O'Shea has done has been life-changing for a lot of people, for me especially. So I hope you keep it going, man. But as far as what I wanted to weigh in on, yeah, because y'all talking about the girl who slept with the pastor, she was married and everything, right?
Right.
Yeah, so a woman is always looking for the best option. I believe that if she has a chance to upgrade, she will. I think a lot of times, and I spoke on this in one of my videos, people will say stuff like, if a woman is with you while you broke and when you ain't got nothing, then she's loyal. But I think she's only with that man because she don't have any other options. I think once she gets more options, she'll upgrade. People think men are the only ones that do that. When we start making money and we can fuck badder bitches and shit like that, they think we the only ones that'll leave the woman we with to get a better looking woman. Well, they do the same thing. When they can get a richer man, they improve themselves to a point where they can attract someone like that. They're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Now that's definitely true, man. With that hypergamous, man. Tomorrow you got oh man, what you got like some wind in the background play. I'm trying to mute you, but you got that super mute. I can't mute the nigga. He's like Thanos or somebody. I be trying to mute him all show. So yeah, man, I can't do it. But shout out to you, brother, for winning. Brother Edward, Mr. Long-Winded Championship of 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show, brother.
Oh, not much, not much. You know, I just woke up after taking a nap. I'm busting my ass today.
You was sleep talking. I'm pretty sure, nigga. You was talking while you was asleep, nigga. You was, and another thing, you was debating yourself, player.
Oh well, you know, I ain't that bad with it. But if I am thinking about something really rapidly, I will start talking out loud in order to think faster. So I can't, but I don't do the sleep talking. But I will say on this issue, man. So the question is, why aren't women being held accountable in this situation, or is the question is about the struggle mania type shit?
Well, nah, I mean that's my own theory of the struggle, man. But no, just the accountable. I don't know if you heard what we've been talking about, yeah, but kind of weigh in on the accountability thing, brother.
I mean, it is one of the codes in the matriarchy to never hold another woman accountable when a man is involved. You know, women, and you see that in the church as well. In the church, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The church is one of the first black matriarchies, the black church, to be honest with you. And if you want to look at what a black matriarchy is historically in America, you really look at the church, you can see all the elements there. And the reality of the situation is, especially when you don't have a lot of men in the church anymore, that 80-20 rule is in effect. And what it is women want to act like they're so strong and so independent and so mentally above men, versus they still don't want to be held accountable to doing like womb shit. So women just find it easier to deflect to the man because that's emotionally the easiest thing to do. It's never the woman's fault, it's always the man's fault. And it wasn't always that way in church, but it's gotten that way. But the women never look at themselves to why did the church get that way? It's never the fact that a man lies to a woman because a woman wants to be lied to. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, women never ask themselves that. Like, why do men lie to me? Well, I spend my money on men that tell me what I want to hear and not what I need to know, because that's emotionally what I want. So as a result, you get the men that you emotionally want. And it's the same thing in the church. Same thing with the gay shit. So at the end of the day, it's one of the codes of conduct amongst women, the unwritten rules that you never hold another woman accountable when another man involved. That's especially if it's a black man. So that's really why that shit is. And what happens is dudes fall into that because, again, dudes will see their value in a woman's womb. If black men stop looking for their value in a woman's womb, then this would deal with a lot of this shit. It wouldn't completely fix everything, but it would make it so women can't. And that's where your struggle mania argument comes in. When you're struggling, dudes get like, just like how when black people as a group financially struggle, what we tend to do is we look for our value in like consumer products and brands, versus white people don't do that as a group because white people have a different relationship with money. As black men, we tend to get extra with looking for our value in who we're fucking or having sex with when we're struggling, because we look at what a woman means to us as far as a status symbol more so. So just that's why you have dudes that are Pookies and Ray Rays that are struggling, but they can tell you, I'm getting buns though, even though they living with their mom and they ain't doing nothing else, because to them, if they're getting sex, then that means it doesn't matter that they're struggling. So you have dudes fall into that trick bag and then they get their ass fucked up. Anyway.
No, you actually brought up some good points. That was kind of sharp for Edward, man. Okay, so shout out to Edward, man. Barack Obama, I'll simp for a mustard sandwich and some hot grapes. Let me do this, guys. Can you do me a favor? We're gonna change the topic up a little bit. I ain't gonna be on for too much longer. Marcus Allen, long as the black church exists, there can never be any level of accountability in the black community. Ooh, thank you, brother. That's a good. Let's actually put that on the table before we close out. But guys, do me a favor, get the likes up. I just need 7 brothers to go ahead and like the video. This is what I'm gonna talk about now. Start with LAR movement. Okay, why is it that two things? Black women cannot call each other out on these issues, especially because it takes 2 to have sex, right? And I want to, but more notably though, let's talk about this one in particular. Why is there a lack of black men in the black church? That's what I want to know. Like, it used to be a time where, I know 80s, 70s. I mean, I wasn't in the 70s, 80s, 90s, there was a lot of men in the church. Why is there such a decline of black men in the church right now?
I'm going to try to answer both questions.
Okay.
Starting with this. The clergy is a dirty Mac's paradise. Because what winds up happening is the women in the church tell these clergy all of their problems. And they capitalize like dirty Macs do on their problems. They know what to do. They know the things to do that they man are not doing at the time. So they say. The women are held accountable because the church is also the place where you can always be a victim. And there are far more women in church than men because, you know, they need forgiveness. They need to be the victim. The devil made them do it. They can't say it was their choice. You know, so they were always coerced and manipulated and played. So what winds up happening is it's a smorgasbord of BS. Because what's happening with this pastor is no different than what's happened for black pastors for the last 50, 60 years. No different. And guess what? Next year is going to be another scandal, just with a different pastor. Because I think last year was Jamal Bryant. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. So what people don't want to take into consideration is this. The church in itself says, you know, through the blood of Jesus, all sins are forgiven. So people continue the fuckery. Because they always can find forgiveness for fuckery every Sunday. This is why, you know, their wife can be seduced. This is why you go to marriage counseling and the next thing you know, the pastor, the deacons, or whoever is dicking your wife's mouth when you ain't home. You know? And to add this insult to injury is this. They don't want to say this, but clergymen are looked at as powerful, and the men in the church are always looked at as weak.
Uh-oh.
So if you the man who has your woman going to the clergy to help you interceding for God, they're gonna always look at you as a bitch and look at that clergyman as something next to God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you we talk about, you know, the bad boys and the thugs and all that, but guess what? Deacon and the pastor fit in that mold. That's what women look at as power. That's the closest thing that they think God is, really. Mm-hmm. They go there every Sunday. And they think if I go through this man, if I could just juggle his balls, I'm gonna get into heaven. So, you know, we don't want to take into consideration. A lot of guys don't go to church now because you not look good in the community for beating the shit out of a clergyman who on that bullshit. You remember the dude a year ago who had to shoot the guy in church because he caught him fucking his wife? He shot the guy in the middle of the church.
He got acquitted too. He got off.
Right. So it's like they're in a political position and in a social position and quote unquote in a spiritual position to fuck anybody over and say it's because, you know, God forgives all. You know what? They are the equivalent to King David with no motherfucking payback.
But let me ask you this whole thing real quick, because before I want to ask you this. You made a good point because this is the same point that Leonard Robinson of I gotta get him on this channel. He said that a lot of women feel like if they do the sexual features or the sexual requests of preachers, they can somehow get into heaven. Like if I'm pleasing the man of God, somehow I'm pleasing God by letting the nigga fuck me in the choir robe behind the church van. You know, do you think that, because a lot of people, man, with pastors, they use their, God-like aura to get, money. Like, if you donating to me, $1,000 prayer cloth, hallelujah, y'all sing that. Press one if you see the holy water, okay, in the bottle for like $1, for $1,000. So let's talk about that real quick.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass the baton.
Okay.
If anybody has read the Bible, it's full of fuck ups. Just had grace. right? That's what it is. Full of fuck ups who had grace. But the thing about it is, you don't know how people interpret the Bible and how they, as far as their own life. See, Mary, the mother of Jesus, will be considered what? A thought. Getting pregnant in that time, she'd have been a thought. Mary Magdalene, who was Jesus' homegirl, she was definitely considered a thought.
Okay.
Right? So Bathsheba probably wouldn't be considered a thought because, you know, the dude killed her husband and then fucked her or whatever. That's how he got her. So, but
no, he fucked her first. Then she got pregnant.
First,
then he got killed.
Then he had him killed.
Hotep, hallelujah.
There is no even Jezebel. I say Ruth is probably a wash because that's not what's up. But it's full of people, and I'm using females specifically. It never said they didn't get into heaven because they was doing fuckery. It never said, you know, Eve was damned to hell for rocking with the devil. It really never, you know, she was cursed with a period. They ain't never said, you know, this bitch ain't never going to heaven. You know, it never said Jezebel crossed Samson. She ain't never going to heaven. Bathsheba fucked David and they got her husband killed. She ain't never going. The 10 Commandments seem to only be specified to men. So these women don't necessarily look at it that way.
Okay.
They can do whatever the fuck they want. You know, like if a hoe can rock with Jesus, who says a hoe can't rock with the pastor?
All right, let me do this. We're gonna go before we go to Taboo TV. Let me welcome brother Aaron Collins. Now he was here. I don't know if he had an issue. Because he was just here in the chat. I don't know if it's kicking him off, but okay. Let me go to Taboo TV real quick, and then we go to manager. But Taboo TV, what did you want to weigh in on, brother?
I stepped away for a second, but I know that the question, it was like a 2-part question that Eliyahu was answering a second ago.
Yeah.
Why the men aren't going to church and why the women aren't being held accountable.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to start with why the men aren't going to church. I think that men and a lot of people in general, but men especially, are starting to see the church for what it is. A lot of which I've talked about with these pastors. I remember growing up, I used to see pastors as blameless and perfect. But as I grew up, I started to see their flaws. So men are starting to see the flaws in these pastors. And you're like, I don't want to answer to this nigga. I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I just made it a Patreon.
No. You know how we get down, player.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to answer this dude because he's not solid. I think men are starting to see that. And then the whole MGTOW thing in and of itself is changing the thought processes of a lot of men everywhere. So that's for starters why you're not seeing a lot of men there. And as far as why the women aren't being held accountable, the church is a business at the end of the day.
Okay.
And your biggest market is what? Black women, especially in the black church. If you lose the women, you lose everything. Let me tell you why.
That's true.
The black women who come into the church not only bring themselves, they want to bring everybody with them. Your mom invites all her friends, invites both sides of the family, everybody she work with. If she in school, they come into. The women are the biggest mouthpiece for the church as far as bringing people in. They're gonna be in front every Sunday, even if the pastor ain't preaching that good. They gonna scream because they in love with him. So he could not even be preaching a good word, but people get deceived by the reactions of the people in the crowd, and you're gonna get most of that from the women. So if you lose them, you lose everything. You hold them accountable, you lose them, the whole church goes under.
Now you make some great points that I'm gonna definitely do that, talk about that, because he definitely right. They keep the churches going. But let me shout out to the real Aaron Collins. He's back. What's going on, brother? You there? Okay, he freezing up, man. I don't know what it is. He was on. But damn, he was going. Man, I know he was going to turn this thing upside down, man. I'm trying to. So let me. I sent him the regular link also, bro. So if you're on here, but let me go to Meta tomorrow. Why are there not a lot of black men in these churches now?
I mean, because it's not for us. We don't need to be absolved of anything.
Uh-oh.
It's just that women seek to be around the people who let them get away with the most, and they congregate together. And most of these people are not there to be held responsible. They're there to be absolved for what just happened last week. And then they leave the church. They haven't really learned anything. Then they go back and do the same thing the next week. So it's kind of like a cycle. So they earn their right this week to go to church on Sunday for all the stupid shit that they've done from Monday to like Saturday night, Sunday morning. So men, we're not allowed to kind of mess up and screw up like that in life. And we don't need to be absolved of shit or quote unquote drained of evil as or the idea of being drained of evil as they think that church really gives them. Like, this is what the church has turned into. We don't need to be absolved of stuff like that. If anything, most men who don't go to church are happy as hell to be away from their wife the 2 hours that they ain't around. That's why they don't go, because that's the only 2 or 3 hours that they ain't got to look at them. And they can watch, and they can watch the pregame in peace without, having to be doing all these stupid ass chores and shit. So that's why it isn't for us. It's not a place for us. It's not meant for us. It's meant for the people who need to be absolved of crimes that they commit daily. And that's other women who go there. Like, there isn't a consortium of people who got it together who need to go to church on a regular. All you have to do is just pay attention to them, and you can see that they haven't learned the basic lessons about it. This is why most people who go to church are the ones who don't know anything about the Bible itself. That's another problem. So they rather hear about it than actually practice it, because anybody can listen to somebody speak. It's hard as hell to get out of that situation and go out and come practice some of this. Men have to practice it because we have to be held in some type of accord, otherwise we go to jail. Women can just do whatever they want to. And if they can go in and they can hear somebody pretty much absolve them of their guilt and really not hold them responsible, I mean, that's why they're showing up, kids and everything. So that's what I got there. So.
Let me just kind of weigh in on this real quick, man. This is what I also noticed, back in the day, in the 80s, when the hoopers was still around, the hoop and the hollering Negroes. The sermons back then, man, was more, I wouldn't say hellfire based, but when there were more men in the churches, the sermons came across with more consequences. This is what's going to happen to you if you do this. If you don't do this, you going to hell. That's kind of how niggas just to preaching. You was kind of like scared. It was, especially for some of y'all who like may have been like Pentecostal nigga. Back in the days, there was no makeup in these churches. Certain churches, you couldn't wear makeup. Women couldn't wear pants. When there was more rules in the churches, it was also women couldn't get away with a lot of shit then either. It was a lot of Old Testament, like, Sodom and Gomorrah, God gonna destroy the world type of sermons and hooping and hollering back then also. It was more me. It was a God gonna destroy you. I mean, that's what it was like.
I remember that. I've been a Reverend Wright, so I remember what you're talking about.
Now in the church, we don't have as many men. It's all about, everything is about what God is gonna do for you. God is gonna get you this, you don't have all this money. God is going to get you this house. It's all about what make you feel good. There's no consequences for anything in the church. You kind of come as you are and stay as you are. Like some churches back in the 80s and 90s, if you would come to church with your tennis shoes, would nobody say nothing, but you would know that you look fucked. Like, like, hey, listen, you would tell your friend, look, you gonna come to church with me this Sunday, you need to wear some church shoes, nigga, because you ain't gonna have me looking stupid. Now, I mean, nigga, you know, these little non-denominational churches, man, them bitches is in there, damn near with booty shorts, man, low cleavage. You know, you can do almost anything now. And I think that's what you've seen. And I think this is what the men understand. Like men understand consequences. You know, we understand consequences, and we understand, like, listen, you know, if you do something, there's a consequence for it. And that's what you're noticing in the churches now. There's never any consequence for anything you do. You gay, you're going to heaven. You whoremonger, you still going to heaven. Nigga, as long as you pay this money, you're going to heaven. You know what I mean? That's what it's about now. So, but I just wanted to say that. Let me go to
Can I say something for Edward?
Sure can, Hotep.
Because I want to just double down on what you just said. I'm gonna try to be nice. I'm gonna really try to be nice.
Awesome.
All right. See, here's the problem. You go to these churches and they say the man is the head of the household. He covers the woman, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. You got these motherfuckers dressing like Prince in a revolution, saying everything is cool, having no motherfucking morals themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, committing all 7 of the deadly sins and want to make it sound good. See, the thing about it is a lot of men don't go to church because ain't no motherfucking leaders in church no more. The dude that's the pastor of the church can't tell me shit because he ain't a motherfucking man in his own goddamn right. Mm-hmm. I'm not listening to no 40-year-old man with no motherfucking skinny jeans telling me what the fuck to do. Now he want to wear skinny jeans and some fucking foam posits and Kanye's and tell me what God got planned for me. Fuck you.
Yeezys.
You know, the other thing, you know, I'm gonna try to be nice, but I ain't gonna fuck it. Man. Half of these motherfucking pastors are feminine. Don't no man want to listen to no fruity ass man tell him what the fuck God got in store, because God ain't fucking with your fruity ass. Like, all the things that people talk about what man is, and in the Bible it says men are this and be bold. These guys ain't bold. These guys some hoes, man. You know, these guys ain't like a lot of times these guys ain't never really had to do nothing in their life but talk their way in and out of situation. They are. You can't tell me you a man of God when you always lean on God, but you ain't got no God in you. See, the God in you could do some shit, but it ain't the God in you these motherfuckers using. These motherfuckers manipulate. Mm-hmm. So if life ever put them in a crunch, I can't fucking trust you. Because as much you gonna tell me to lean on God, but you're not really leaning on God. You leaning on people. Hey, I'm in the crunch. I need all 4,000 of y'all to give me some money. Motherfucker, that ain't believing in God. That's believing in the people that you packed in the house. That's like going to a motherfucking Jay-Z concert and say, you know, I need all of y'all to put your lighters in the air. You done already paid $100 for the tickets, bitch. You might as well put your phone in the
air. Did he just say bitch?
Shit, we crowdfund all the time.
Like the church and these pastors, and I hate to say it, a lot of these pastors ain't got shit to do with God. And a lot of these church members ain't got shit to do with God.
Hello.
Because truth be told, if you really was about God, you'd be about God from Monday to Saturday too. You motherfuckers just about God on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, you motherfuckers just about God from 8 to maybe 3 o'clock on Sunday. Because you on some bullshit from 3:30 to the next motherfucking Sunday.
Right.
And the pastors let you know this. They show you this all the time. How you know all this motherfucking gossip going on in these churches? Ain't no motherfucking God in church when you know, oh man, you guess what? Did you know that Sister Jenkins sucked off the whole choir last night? Amen. Yes, she did.
Ain't no more gossip in the Bible.
You get what I'm saying? How many times you gonna go to the church and a woman is looking for a man in the Okay, before I shut up, I'm gonna say this. Mm-hmm. Women go to church looking for a man knowing they got bitch ass niggas in churches.
Woo!
That redefines that idea that ain't no good man. I'm about to piggyback on what you just said.
You
Okay.
got it, Edward. I'm done, bro.
You all know the out of the Ten Commandments, the one that is broken the most in the black community.
Thou shalt not
Say
lie.
nope.
What's
That's
that?
close. This is the one that's bigger. Thou shalt not worship false idols.
Oh, what date about that one?
The black community, whether in and out of the church, worship the most false idols. I can talk about out of the church when it comes to brands. I could come to the hotel community because really, the hotel community worships black women. They really worship the black womb. Actually, not even the woman. That's why when you talk, the hotel show the black woman, they're always showing the black woman naked because really they're worshiping sex. That they're masquerading as the black woman. But I didn't even. I said those two first because I wanted to let you know I'm not just gonna beat up on the church. Now let me proceed to beating up on the church. Um, the false idol that the black church worships is the pastor, and that speaks to what LAR was saying. It doesn't matter what the pastor does
Mm-hmm.
because the pastor is a symbol. It's kind of like what people try to accuse Anthony Brian Logan of white people using him to be like this. And it's not just Anthony Brian Logan. You got Corleone Noir with the NRA to say you're this thing that kind of gives convenient credibility to whatever agenda they're trying to use for a certain target market.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, and I believe I know ABL believes everything he believes. So it is what it is. What I'm saying is not to pick on ABL. I'm saying as far as the pastor is concerned, is that's what the pastor is to black women. You know, black. It's kind of like why you see women, they don't ever want to have their own shit, but they always want to take over men's shit because it's a part of conquering men. That's really what it's a part of. That's that penis envy. Shout out to Glenn and Cameron that really went deep into that. Talking about women don't really want to have their own spaces. They really want to conquer men's. That's why a lot of female owned spaces tend to talk about how to conquer male spaces because they want that's that penis envy. They want that penis, metaphorically speaking, because they in their minds have been programmed that the penis is power, which it is, but they don't they have been taught to value that and not value what their power is. So in the church, the way that manifests, because it manifests in everywhere in the black society, as in this pastor and the clergymen, because the clergymen are a part of it too, where they are looked at as like gods. And what a lot of people don't understand too is when you look at the matriarchy, if you understand the matriarchal construct, even one that is functional, there is always a small group of men. It operates like the 80, almost 90-10 rule, where you got 10% of men that are in strategic positions to help run and facilitate shit. And then 90% of the women are like in kind of an upper or middle class situation, and then the dudes that are the people that are shadow labor under that are the men. So this is why when we see in the manosphere we're having a lot of these dust ups when we bring women involved, you have dudes, and I'm talking about dudes of different walks of life. You could have a dude like Dynas, you could have a dude like Max City Limits, you could have a dude like Alan Roger Curry, that they have this kind of apologetic view towards women because they are, if you structure the way what I'm talking about, they're at the top of that matriarchy. They're the dudes at the top. They are like the coveted dudes or the sperm donors, or as Marcus A. Brown said when he was talking about the 10 send-off missions, the dummy missions, they are the male models because their value is in their genetics. So they don't have to do anything as far as trying to get women because what did Maxine Lemon call those lucky charm niggas? So they're at the top of the matriarchy, so they can't really see the same vantage point that other people can point out because they're benefiting from it, and they depend. And this is why I'm gonna get back to the pastor. The pastor depends on the delusion that men are gonna believe that it's a fair playing field because if they don't believe that, what happens? Men pull out. Now the issue with the church is because the church is an emotional Ponzi scheme where you just got to come as you are and you just give money in order to be told what you want to hear. You don't see the church turn as much into a ghetto because the church individually has its own revenue source by hustling females, by telling females what they want to hear. This is why you don't see that Sodom and Gomorrah consequential talk anymore, and you see more. It doesn't matter what you do because because that's a part of the prosperity gospel. And these mofos are so fucking stupid that they'll give a nigga $20 million because they asked for it. Shout out to Creflo Dollar. And the thing, I don't blame Creflo Dollar. The church needs every last one of them church members need they ass beat. Because Creflo, look, and I say this and I'm gonna pass the mic. What did Creflo do that was wrong? Creflo didn't lie. He came on that pulpit in front of everybody and said, "This is what the fuck I want." He did not lie. He did not cheat. He did not steal. He said, "This is what I," just like Donald Trump said, "This is what I was gonna do," and people voted for him. Trump didn't cheat his way. Well, people say the election thing, but at the end of the day, he did. Trump would have won anyway. I don't care what nobody says. So damn that. Trump won legit, and I didn't vote for Trump, and I'm saying that.
If I
Creflo Dollar
could,
said, "I want a damn plane," and the congregation said, "Coming right up." That's not Creflo's fault. That's like saying I want. Oh, you walk up to a female and say, "I want to have sex with you," and you pull your drawers down and get in the car and then participate and then want to say "me too" after the fact. And so my point is, you don't get Creflo dollars unless the church is already fucked up. And going back to what all of y'all was saying, that to answer these questions really quick, because I've been long-winded as hell, is why are black men not in church? Black men are not in church for a simple reason. Because like Man Tomorrow said, there's nothing for us. Black men expect to be taught about manhood, be taught about purpose. The church for black men are designed to keep these females in fucking check.
Yep.
Because we use the church as a mechanism to get our women to buy into it. That's how Muslims do it. That's how Jews do it. That's why, and when you look at the church, when women used to talk about the church in the past, when they talk about it in a bad way, what they don't tell you is the women were doing the most shaming. Yeah, the pastors were saying that Sodom and Gomorrah stuff, but the church, the women were in there executing that stuff too, shaming the other women. And women hate that. Black women had to destroy shaming and judgment first because they knew that women respond more to female shame than they do to male shame. I call it the Judge Hatchets of the world. Because if you see a majestic black woman telling a black woman she ain't shit, that hurts another black woman. And they know this. So they destroyed that first. Now, anyway, so let me end it with this.
Y'all, it's 3:30, so
That's it.
y'all
I
niggas
said
need to
all.
wrap it up. Play go ahead, Taboo, and with last comments, because I gotta get up, man. I got class in the morning, and you Negroes will keep me up here to all night long, and this should be 7 hours, and y'all niggas not gonna keep me up this long. Okay, let's go ahead on Brother Taboo. Go ahead and make your point, man, and we're gonna go ahead and close it down, player.
All right, I ain't gonna be too long, but I wanted to touch on that last thing LAR said. He said these women go to these churches knowing that there's bitch ass niggas in there.
Woo!
A lot of women, when they're young and they fine, they jump from dick to dick. All the top males, I'm talking about the fine ones, the top males that all the girls want, they can get those guys whenever they want. So when they start to get a little bit older, okay, now I need somebody to take care of me. Where am I going to find a beta male? Where am I going to find a blue pill guy? Church is one of the easiest places for a woman to find that. But when she goes there, she has no intention of really getting into the word and walking that walk. She just want a man that's going to take care of her, make her life easy so she can slut out the rest of her 30s and probably half of her 40s.
So that's actually very, very, very true. That's true. That's so true. Man, that's probably where I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's maybe no wonder why I don't go to church no more. But let's go ahead on last comments. Go to Man of Tomorrow and then LAR. And I'll do a longer show tomorrow because it's the weekend. But tonight, nigga, you know, I gotta get up in the morning, man. Go ahead, LAR. Not LAR, but Man of Tomorrow.
Hey man, form your own congregation. I mean, if they're gonna have a place that benefits them, you got to create a place that benefits you on the
Right.
same level. You don't need them; they need you. Um, a person who doesn't build alone don't really have any value unless they attach themselves to a building. The one thing that you should never do is you should always keep your eyes open into what's happening within your marketplace. So when these people come in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left and the game is 99 to nothing, and they want to call you into the game to somehow win this thing, You could just look at it and be like, look, I know what you was doing all the other Sundays, but we over here doing other stuff. So you go get back over there and do what you were doing. Just don't let these church people fool you, man. They're there for their own benefit, not yours. They're there for their own short-term benefit. And you should be able to know this pattern right now. We're men, we're supposed to be able to see these patterns. So, you know what? If you find a place that works for you, great. But don't be a part of these congregations so that way you can get picked up like a draft choice by one of these women who ain't worthy, man. Because that's why they're there.
Draft
So
choice.
that's all I got.
All right, and then let me see who else. Let me see, LAR. What you got to say, player?
I'm gonna keep it short, bro. The thing about it is this: in the past, the church was filled with selfless people, but now it's filled with selfish people.
True.
So when you're selfish and you use God as an excuse, just because you're in the same building don't mean you're the same people. They changed over time. And the reason men are not in church is because one of the reasons is because men are socialized to be selfless. Women are socialized to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more conducive to them. If you do this, God gonna do something for you. If you give me $100, God gonna do something for you. God don't even work like that. Like you can't like we treating spirituality like a guaranteed lotto ticket. And that's where the lack of accountability comes from. Because if I get a church $10,000, I'm gonna go to heaven this year.
Right.
The fuck that got to do with going to heaven?
Just treat God like a payday lender. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That always cash in no matter how much we've made on the loan.
Right.
It's so simple.
No.
That's what I mean. Like people don't really because a lot of times in our current society, women are selfish. What you gonna do for me? Where we gonna go? Where we gonna eat? When we gonna do it again? How much? I'm gonna spend it all. I'm gonna do it. That ain't how that is not how spirituality works.
Right.
That is not a principle of spirituality. And guys get tired of that because guys spent a lot of their time and money on women's selfishness already and got nothing to show for it. And haven't met a selfless woman yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't look at God as a selfish being. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it. This is why there's no accountability in the church, because the church is just a diet model for capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As long as you got the money, it counts. It's right. And guys still have principles. So I'm done.
Who's that?
No, this was me. I was saying I promise I'll be quick this time.
Please, nigga, because it's 3:36 in the morning.
I respect it, and then Mel just go hard. First of all, God, not God, the pastor's the new pimp. That's pretty much what for older people, and y'all could leave that to y'all imagination. That's a whole video you could do on your own. Second thing is shout out to Sub-Zero 3639 that he just did a video talking about why I'm not weak because I have faith, why faith doesn't make me weak, which is a good video. Also shout out to Nicole Michelle, the interview you did with her, because she acknowledged a lot of these issues, and she's a God-fearing woman. So this is not stuff that I don't have an issue with Christianity per se. I have an issue with the governance of the church. And then the last thing I'm gonna say, and this is a shameless plug, is I did a Facebook page I just created about business called The Made Marketer. So just type that in, themademarketer.com, and then like that page, because I'm trying to get that page up. You know me, I don't never try to do shameless plugs, but it's where I kind of aggregate a lot of business stuff that I see. Yeah, the Made Marketer, THE Made Marketer, kind of like themademan.com, and that'll take you right to that Facebook page. Hit me
Okay.
with a like, and them likes are easy, man. Just give me a like.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
me like it myself. So yeah, Edward, we'll definitely, you know what I'm saying, do that if you want, man. You know, I definitely want to support my brother, the Made Marketer on Facebook. I actually start I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video tomorrow. Remind me, I'll give it a plug in and I'll put it in my link so people can
Okay,
go
yeah.
to it.
TheMadeMarketer.com. So you don't even got to try to find it on Facebook. Just do .com and it'll take you directly to it.
All right,
All
all
right.
right. So guys, I want to thank everybody, all the people on the panel, man. You know, I had a few days off, not really, because I had school situations that I'm trying to, you know, get worked out. Player, I got everything under control, but so I've been, you know, spending a lot of time with that. I'm in a new rotation. I'm in psychiatry right now, so it's been busy for me. And then, you know, really in my academic career, it's been really taking up a lot of my time. This last just going over the course of these 2.5 months. But obviously, I'm trying to keep my obligation in to the Patreon people. So I've been a little slow on uploading some content. I will upload a new Dr. Action, um, new Dr. Action thing right now. Okay, so guys, thank you for being patient with me. You know, I also, you know, in medical school, believe it or not. Some people think, nigga, you ain't in medical school. Nigga, yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just this is a hard career or path to try to go through, especially at this age. You know, I'm envious of a lot of people that can just go to school and don't have to do anything else. You know, but the way my life is set up, you know, I have to, you know, have the Negro Manosphere, and I have to, you know, shows and collaborations that I have to, you know, do also. So this does take up a lot of my time, also. But, you know, I'm trying to find that balance and everything. But I do appreciate everybody that has been supporting. You know, a lot of times, um, you know, it does get overwhelming. You know what I mean? Because I work hard in both aspects of things, and sometimes I'll be in class and I'll be tired as hell. But anyways, you know, I make sure that the site publishes every day. I make sure that, you know, I can get in at least a few shows a week. So I thank you, brothers. You know, we'll get back to more thing. I will do a show tomorrow. I will do a show Saturday. I will do a show Sunday, for you, brothers. So thank you. Appreciate all the support. I want to thank the brother Taboo TV, because he said something very important. He said that you know, he feels that what I've been a part of and what other brothers have been a part of has been life changing. And in many cases, you know, people go to medical school or nursing school, things like that, to have an effect on people's lives. And you know, it's kind of like now, before I even, you know, complete that part of my life, I'm just, you know, it's glad, it's touching to hear somebody say that about, like, you know, hey man, you know, I appreciate you what you do. So I thank all you guys for what you do. Ron Wills will be on Wednesday. We're gonna have Dr. Kenyon Meadows on. We're gonna have some financial things on. We're gonna have some good stuff for you guys. Again, thanks for the support. I am Mara. Just came back from Cuba. He wants to come back over here and talk about his Cuban experience. For those brothers who want to go to Cuba, Aaron Ferris just came back from Dominican Republic. We'll talk about that. So we have some good travel shows for you brothers. There's some good finance shows from you brothers, and we do have some good interviews set up, some good shows, and some collaboration. So thank you, brothers. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you, LAR Movement. I'm using your name for views, but I do got to get the fuck up out of here. So shout out to you, brothers. Shout out to Marcus Love. His article drops tomorrow on the Negro Manosphere. Thank you for everything. And I am posting right now on the Patreon. So go check it out if you are on the $5 and up on Patreon to check out the new Dr. Action. And I'm out of here. Peace.